We got this. It's good. Go.
You think you can hold him off?
Captain, it'd be my genuine pleasure.
Just like Budapest all over again.
You and I remember Budapest very differently.
You need men in these buildings. There are people inside. Far back is 30.
Stark, got a lot of stray stuff in your tail. Nat, what are you doing?
A little help.
I got him.
It's 30 days late, it's 60 days late. They paid on time. These FICO scores. Late. Well, they caught up on their payments. Another 30 days late. LTV 95, LTV 90. They caught up on their
60
payments.
days late. Jesus, when is LTV 110? I've never heard of that.
30 days late, rated adjustments. 7 rate adjusts. LTV 95, 90.
Jesus.
He hasn't moved all day. He does this every few days. Hasn't spoken to me since he hired me. Maybe the LTV is high risk interest only.
He's heard of this LTV.
Ow.
Michael, how are you, guy?
Lawrence, I found something really interesting.
Great, Michael. Whenever you find something interesting,
We all tend to make money. What stock are you valuing?
No stocks. I want to short the housing market.
really? But the housing market is rock solid.
Solid. Greenspan just said. Bubbles are regional, defaults are rare. Tell them I'll be there.
In a minute. Say again?
Look, Greenspan's wrong.
I don't think you mean to do this, but sometimes you sound very
Dismissive and superior.
superior.
It's a fact. Greenspan's wrong. I don't know how else you want it.
Look, Michael, Metro Capital,
Back to 4 years ago when you were a doctor with a
dinky web page and some.
inheritance money. We've all done very well.
Why don't you just stick with stocks?
You know me. I look
For value wherever it can be found. And the fact is that these mortgage-backed securities are filled
with extremely risky subprime adjustable rate loans. And when the majority of the adjustable rates kick in 07, they will
begin to fail. And if they fail above 15%, the whole bond is worthless.
Michael, just take a beat. We'll talk about this later.
Lawrence, please don't patronize me. It's
Mortgage-backed securities, subprime loans, tranches. It's pretty confusing, right? Does it make you feel bored or stupid? Well, it's supposed to. Wall Street loves to use confusing terms to make you think only they can do what they do. Or even better, for you just to leave them the fuck alone. So here's Margot Robbie in a bubble bath to explain.
Basically, Louis Rainieri's mortgage bonds were amazingly profitable for the big banks. They made billions and billions on their 2% fee they got for selling each of these bonds. But then they started running out of mortgages to put in them. After all, there are only so many homes and so many people with good enough jobs to buy them, right? So the banks started filling these bonds with riskier and riskier mortgages. Thank you, Banjo. That way, they can keep that profit machine churning, right? By the way, these risky mortgages are called subprime. So whenever you hear subprime, think shit. Our friend Michael Burry found out that these mortgage bonds that were supposedly 65% AAA were actually just mostly full of shit. So now he's going to short the bonds, which means to bet against. Got it? Good. Now fuck off.
It's only a matter of time before someone else sees this investment. We have to act now.
How do you know the bonds are worthless? Aren't they filled with fucking thousands of
Pages of mortgages?
I read them.
You read them?
Yeah.
No one reads them. Only the lawyers who put them together read them.
I don't think that they even know what they've made. The housing market is propped up on these bad loans. It's a time bomb, and I want to short it.
Through what instrument, Michael? There are no insurance contracts or options for mortgage bonds. The bonds are too stable.
Lawrence, this is what I'm gonna do. I am gonna get a bank to make me one. And then I'm gonna buy it.
Okay. And I've been feeling down all day, but tell them everything been straight. Cause you've been on my mind all the time, but tell me why you won't be mine. Like everything I did for you was to tell you what you meant to me, yeah. Cause I know you've been thinking all about me all night long. We were texting till around 3, and it's not a thing to you, baby. No, tell me, shawty, won't you sing? Cause I've been losing hope, but maybe it's a long way home. So tell me what I need to do, just so me and you can make it through, yeah. Cause I've been so alone, whenever you ain't hit my phone. So tell me what I need to do, just so me and you can make it through, yeah. I remember last September, you were mine, yeah. But by December, things went timber with you and I.
Crypto YouTube. How's it going? Crypto Stud here with another banger. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. To all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. I know this video will be getting out the day after Mother's Day, but still just, want to make that apparent and give thanks for all they do. Before we begin, welcome to the crypto universe, where endless possibilities sparkle like stars. Embracing a powerful belief, God is great, God is good, we embark on this exciting journey through the realms of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Carry hope and positivity as we navigate this dynamic world together. Whether you're enjoying a sunny day or searching for the beacon in the night, may your heart be filled with peace, love, and the promise of prosperity. Join me on my channel as we unlock the mysteries of crypto with curiosity and bold hearts. Here's to success, understanding, and a touch of magic on our path. May your day shine bright, your spirit be light, and your investments flourish. Now, let's dive into today's crypto adventure. So I kind of did one extreme and added a bit more to my long. I am going to go over in this video why I did that, what I see, what I do believe to see, but also at the same time, there is other factors that could lead me to close my position out and look for something further down. So stay tuned. Got a lot of good info to bring you. This is a very big week for us in just economic information. We have the PPI report, the CPI report coming out this week. So those are huge items. So let's go ahead and jump into the charts real quick now. And let me just zoom in on this one. Go through. I do want to go back to like a replay of my previous video when I spoke about, we actually had this move right here the next day during my video. That day following, we had a report come out that was not very good for us, and we pretty much swung failed this little area right here and then plummeted down to previous day value area low of that day. So it worked out to a really good position, but it was a very quick one and a very aggressive one. And for the newer people trading, it's hard. It's hard to really take trades based off just seeing things on charts. You do need to take into account news. It used to not be like that. News didn't affect markets as much as they have in the past couple years. The whole inflation rising and just the debt capitalizing more and more has just caused more people to just be, not so much panic, but just be aware of circumstances in the economy right now and just how things are. Rates have raised recently because of inflation. We've had all these rates raised. They were talking about cutting rates this year. We're going into a presidential election, and normally when a president is elected and comes into office the year before, normally rates are cut to some extent. History has proven that, before the new president comes in, rates are normally on the lower end, or maybe not by much, a couple quarter cuts here and there throughout the year before the next president comes in and takes office. Well, we've came into the year expecting all these rate cuts to happen, and they haven't happened. They haven't came to happen, and the reason being for that is CPI, inflation. Inflation is rising back up. It did tick down. We did get a nice little tick down, but that tick down was due to us raising rates. Now, we raised the rates, and the rates are higher. Everyday things cost more to borrow money. You see it in anything. Pretty much any type of bank loan or anything that you try to get, rates are higher. And the impression of that was, this would curve inflation and get it back down to 2%. Well, here we are coming into May, and inflation is ticking back up with higher rates already in play. So it's been tough in the realm of these reports. Every time they come out, we've had bearish moves to the downside. I feel like that's put us more in a position for Bitcoin than, say, the S&P. The S&P is about to top out at the highs again. It's having a great year. Bitcoin is kind of struggling in some sense to that. It's not quite. It had a really good run, but it didn't continue to keep rising, and that is a bit concerning. And adding more to this position, I kind of take with a grain of salt, because at the same time, this week is going to be a very hectic week in terms of reports. The PPI report is tomorrow, and then the CPI report comes out the next day. But yeah, before we get into it, I'm just going to do a replay video of this area that we spoke about the day before. My video came out that morning of around 2 or 3. Markets opened about 8:39, and then we had this reaction for that day. So here's that snippet. Let's hop into XO and see if there's anything that's really concerning. So I did notice earlier today, it was kind of concerning. While we made this rise up, we actually had open interest fall. So now, from my experience, if price rises and open interest falls, that's always a bearish sign. So with that being said, it's very difficult, but I think in the medium time frame, I would be bullish. I would be a bit bullish, but in the near time frame, shorter time frame, I'm looking a bit bearish. Now, we do have a Dalton right now as well. So if you do want to play a position, we have a possible Dalton, which has an 80% hit rate. Almost always hits 80% as well. But we have our D open, we're outside our D open, we have previous day value area high, so 62,265. So like I said, in the near term, right now at this moment I am leaning a bit bearish, so this would kind of put me into a position where if I was looking to do something, I would wait until we get some candle closers in the previous day value area high, and then you know, play it until we get to the previous day value area low. Now, is the previous day value area low on our weekly P 68.90? I think it's just below it. It's a woody 61.7. So 61.7. Our week and our value area low is 60. Yeah, I think we could hit the weekly P again, possibly test it. So if I was looking for a trade, I would be looking for a short if we get back into this previous day value area high, get some candle closures in here, so 62.260, and then work it back down here, down to the bottom. So again, I'm leaning more of a bullish posture with a temporary pullback, a lower time frame temporary pullback. So let's see how this pullback goes into this weekly P right here, and then we can just kind of assess what would be possibly next. But again, this area is just very choppy. It's grinding. There's a lot of grinding to it, so it's not, probably wouldn't recommend doing a lot of high leverage on it right now. Just kind of play with it. But I'm still in my long. I think I would look to close and take some profits if we start failing below this. If we fail below this, swing fail this, and it's a weak test, I will probably look to take profits on my long. Now, I'm not taking profits up here. I'm kind of hoping that I can extend this a bit more. I didn't take any profits at the 65. I actually did take some of my short profits around 60. It was about 64.8 or so. I'd spoke about it on the video, the last video. But this is kind of a tough area, to be honest with you. I am leaning a bit more on the higher time frames bullish, like I said, but it's a tough area, I must say. So let me see if there's anything, the lower time frames. We do have bearish divergence here as well. So we're kind of getting that pullback right now on the lower time frames. Yeah. This is just kind of no man's land, to be honest with you. Even if you do take the Dolan, I'd be very cautious. I wouldn't do too large on it. Previous day value area high, wait till some candle closures, and then work it down to the previous day value area low. But it's just very dry. Very dry. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I can really see other than the Dalton play. Just looking really tough. Let's hit high block again real quick. And I mean, you know, there will be days where trades are just hard to find. Trades are hard to analyze. You know, like, you're not always going to be 100% on anything. So I really do believe this Dalton would be a nice play for, you know, maybe a scalp short. Take the Dalton, see how previous day value area low plays, and then test that. If you're not too antsy to get in a position, also you could wait until the report comes out tomorrow at 10 a.m. and then look for a position that might warrant then. And you know, 10 a.m. could come out and we have somewhat of a neutral stance on our report, bounce on previous day value area high and look for higher. But it's kind of, I just don't really, there's not really much volatility. We had a bit of volatility right here. We had a move down. The 1 hour had a bit of volatility too. and then we had that move down, which was a pretty nice play. Let's see, 2-3%. It's not bad, but other than that, I just it's just tough. I would really like to see some heavier volatility on these higher time frames, and I'm just not seeing it yet. So it leads me to believe that there really isn't going to be much of a big move besides the report coming out and the report saying something. So 6 hour, we had some big volatility over in this area, had a good price movement down. But outside of that, I don't really, this one's tough. So higher time frames, I am leaning still bullish to some extent. Lower time frames, I am leaning bearish. So I would like to see a weekly P retest. And so it's always great to analyze charts and be able to have an outcome for it. But at the same time, lower time frames were a little bit bearish, but that report coming out kind of intensified the bearishness of it as well. But mostly it just kind of ended up being chop, to be honest with you. We kind of worked our way back up into that area. Again, we're getting kind of rejections here, but the volatility is just very dry right now, very low. Even the dollar right now is pretty dry and low. S&P is up 10, it's up 10 points right now. So out of everything, that's actually got quite a good movement going for it. And we'll take a look at that here. But before we start, let's go ahead and drop into the high block chart. I have already pulled up here and ready for us. So it's not as aggressive as it was last time we looked at this in my last video, which does make it a bit concerning that there isn't much short interest going on in this area in order for longs to come in and pull it. And if you see longs, it's a neutral, it's becoming a neutral area, and sometimes there just might not be trades to be, but we'll go through this video and see if there's anything we can find. But at the same time, sometimes finding good positions helps you avoid things like this where it's just an ultimate area of chop. So from a high block standpoint, not many shorts really built up. It's pretty neutral to longs in some sense, you know, pretty well off close there. But this price action I spoke about 2 videos ago, it's just going to be very choppy and just boring. We've had quite a few good moves in the past couple weeks, and sometimes it just has to be that it has to be a thing where the buyers and the sellers kind of digest the moves and where we are and what buyers think is a good price to buy and what sellers think's a good area to short or sell in some cases. You know, maybe not a leverage trade, but just taking positions and selling their holdings on Bitcoin or whatever asset may be, in this case, you know, Bitcoin. But so let's go ahead and take a look at the dollar. Again, it's almost an identical look to Bitcoin. It's very choppy. We're in a range here as well with the dollar. Let's put it about here, and then let's put the bottom here. I kind of like that. A little bit of volatility. Swing failed the bottom part, swing failed the top part, came back in the range, playing this range again now. And the thing is, though, when you have this chop and this just like this little teeny range right here, this actually cools off oscillators. This cools off things that people use. RSI, stochastic RSI, MACD, you know, whatever they're using. MAs start to cool off. Your moving averages start to cool off. They start to condense. They start to form. Bollinger Bands, if you're using that, you know, it just, all these different indicators kind of cool off and get into a neutral zone, which makes it very aggressive and very hard for people to find good positions, and that's why you get this chop. This is why this chop comes and happens. But we did get this move up from that report. Like I spoke about it, you know, if there's a giant green candle in the dollar, even though we did practically reverse almost 50%, more than 50% on it, that's always a good move to take a position against Bitcoin, betting against Bitcoin going down. So same case here, you know, we had the swing fill pattern up here and then we dropped down here. Well, Bitcoin did the opposite. It actually gained some momentum and it went up. You know, it's always sad to see this as a trader. You know, this is when people lose money, is in these little areas. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what's going on. They don't know how to trade it. You know, they don't play the ranges. They get very impatient. They put a position in here. It goes down to the bottom. They get stopped out. They put a short in here. It goes to the top. They get stopped out. This is just, it's all chop, you know, and the consideration, we're looking at the dollar here, but it's same concept. You know, we can move over to the Bitcoin chart and it's the same exact concept. It's just this large area chop. And we're going to go ahead and put this right here. And then we're going to put this one, I like this one a bit tighter right here for me. We do have this one area of support from previous days right there as well. It's kind of in between line of it. Let me go ahead and delete these. I forgot to actually save this chart on our last video, so these came back when I refreshed the chart. Normally I don't do auto save, so let me save it real quick. But yeah, let's get back to the dollar. Let's take the look at the weekly and just see if there's anything anything that really gives us a good direction that we're looking for. I still like this area up here. That's looking pretty clean. We did get it's kind of like a double top in a sense. Not quite a clean double top. Double top, you want about the same, you know, same position about it, but it's a double top within this order block, and that's always a great fair trade to play as well. So the weekly is starting to turn down on us now. We are starting to get some movement on that, and it is a new weekly. We did get a new weekly chart here for everything, so there is a little bit of extra data on here. And another thing I like using is the weekly P on Bitcoin, which is above us. So that could lead us to further continuation to the upside. I did put in more into my position when we swung fail pattern the low area. I'll go over that when we get to Bitcoin a bit more. I'm getting ahead of myself. Just a lot of info I'm trying to get to y'all. Let's see, the day is looking a bit bearish still, but again, you know, we could have this price action just chop around and this would reset these higher time frame indicators, kind of neutral in the 12-hour. So let's check out the 8-hour. Neutral in the 8-hour. And this is what happens when you start getting chopped. Like I said, things start resetting and you start seeing neutral positions and the direction's unclear. And normally when the direction's unclear, you need to go to a higher time frame to find that direction. So right now the dollar on the weekly basis is starting to turn bearish. So that could bode well for Bitcoin. In most cases it does. If the dollar does move back, it most definitely allows Bitcoin to run and gain some steam on its own. 4 hours kind of neutral, but it's leaning a bit bullish on it. So let's see the 2-hour. 2-hour should give us some clue. Okay, so we do have a little bit of bullish continuation there, but again, it's setting up into that neutral zone, which happens, you know, when it's been chopping around like it has, it happens. It comes and it's just the thing. It's a thing of trading. So the 1 hour is still a little bit of momentum to the upside. Volatility starting to pick up in this area, so we should get somewhat of a good move eventually here. Now this is the dollar, so a good move won't be anything dramatic as like you would see with Bitcoin, but it's always great to see, you know, some volatility with the dollar as well. So I am leaning on a lower time frame, a little bullish. It does look a little bullish on the lower time frames. Medium time frames are kind of in a neutral zone, and then the weekly is actually starting to turn over for us. So this would bode well for Bitcoin if we do get this crossover and we start getting some candle closers below these lows right here. So looking for some lows below here, we could probably retest back to the lows down here. Let's go ahead and look at S&P. S&P is about to get the top side again. Like I spoke about in my last video, I was talking about this area being a good area to look for a position, possibly for short. I mean, but this chart just looks absolutely beautiful. You know, just nonstop. just a non-stop move up. So it looks fantastic. It's hard to really have much of a bias to the downside for it, but the weekly is starting to recover here. You see how we're starting to get this turnover here on the weekly. This is kind of what I want to see for Bitcoin to really just give some good solid backing to have a bullish posture and like believe that Bitcoin can go further higher and test the resistance zones that we have that we've been looking for quite a while. So the daily's still got strong momentum right now. 12 hours looking pretty strong still. Let's check out the 8 hour. 8 hours looking pretty good still. 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hours starting to turn just a tad. So lower time frames look like they are starting to, yeah. 4 hours starting to lean down the bearish side. 2 hour, ooh, bearish. Hidden bearish divergence right there. And then let's see the 1 hour. 1 hour, oh, we're starting to form the top out signal on the 1 hour. I really wouldn't mind just seeing this test the top here. I don't see, let's see, what's the percentage of that? Yeah, 8. It's really not that, it doesn't have much more to go. Again, though, we have these reports this week. Let me jump into the reports here real quick. We have these reports this week. Let's see. Let me jump over here. So tomorrow, let's see, today's Monday. So not today, but tomorrow we have the CPI report on Tuesday. Or the core PPI report on Tuesday. And then we actually have Fed Chair, we have him talking, we have Powell talking. So that might bring some volatility into the markets for us. And I really think that's what everybody's just waiting for is just to see what these reports bring. So if you remember beginning of last month, it was the same concept. We had a lot of chop around this area, waiting for these reports to come out. And then when the reports hit, we got movement and volatility. So these are things to just, take note of. This core retail sales will be pretty important as well. So, I was wrong because I thought the PPI report was going to come out tomorrow being today, Monday. I am a day ahead on this. So I don't really expect too much movement tomorrow on anything. I just expect more chop. And then when the report comes out for core PPI, we might have something. So overall, lower time frames are looking a little bearish, but the higher time frames are just looking so strong for S&P right now. I don't see reason. I actually don't know how well of a short this would be if I was to take a trade in this. I don't personally trade S&P, but I use it to help guide where I think Bitcoin's going to go. And S&P looking pretty strong like this is some good indication that possibly Bitcoin does test higher. There's always a possibility for that. So let's go ahead and get into Bitcoin right now. Head to the weekly first. So kind of just like the S&P, we're starting to get that curve here going. So I wouldn't mind, it'll probably take another 2 weeks before we really get that full curve going. And now the weekly can take a bit of time to actually play out. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily's kind of neutral right now, which is good. It's good in some sense for higher time frame move up. That means that there isn't much of a bearish posture, so that could kind of help things. 12 hour is pointing down a little bit more, but we are starting to curve up just a tad bit. The 8 hour is getting neutral, but we are turning up on that too as well, so that's looking pretty nice too. 6 hours in neutral right now, but turning up. See the 4 hour. 4 hour is looking good. We have some volatility starting to come in now, so we should get somewhat of a move up. I kind of wouldn't mind us just tagging this to get some liquidity going before we start moving back up. But overall, it looks good. The biggest thing, with that, putting into my position, I did get some more in this area, give or take around this area, just to add it a bit more but overall it's looking pretty good. 2 hour needs to come down a little bit. So like I said, if we can get back over into this area again, this would be kind of a nice area to see how we do here, how we test this, and if we can get anything going up here. We really need a liquidity grab is what we need, and we need something that actually gives us a pop to go higher. We haven't quite had that. It's been very choppy and just very dry and unfortunate. Grab some water here just a second. So looking at the 1 hour here, I could see us actually pulling back a bit here and just testing this area, especially with 1 hour, let the 1 hour reset and everything. But if you do see, we did get this bearish divergence here, and we had a decent move. I mean, again, granted, the price action has been kind of very choppy and boring, but 1%. I did notice that the 2 hour had bearish divergences as well. Right here before I moved down, so that was kind of a nice play. I don't recall if I spoke about that in the video. I think those formed after my video. This first one might have formed during the video, and then I think the second one formed closer to when the market was about to open, and so I didn't see that in the video. But normally double bearish signature right here is always a great move. Granted, this move was brought to you by a bad report, but a 5%, almost a 5% move, I'm sure you can't catch the entire top and the entire bottom, but almost a 5% move isn't a bad day for anybody trading. But yeah, so I wouldn't mind just seeing us come back down a little bit, just kind of test this area. It wouldn't even be 1%. And just see, what happens from that area where we go. But there's really not much of anything that really says, a massive drop or a massive pump. I think these reports, everybody's waiting for those reports to come out. Volume's going to be dry tomorrow. We're going to continue having dry volume. 45 minutes does have a bullish divergence forming right now, so that might be good in the near term. We might just continue chopping around here. We might not even get a test down here. I think it would be kind of a nice thing if we don't get the test down here, chop around here, and then start making a move up. But ideally, I would like to see us test this area. I just want to see like a nice little wick, a wick down here, wick up, and then just take off. But I don't expect much movement to be fair. But what I like to see and what actually happens are two completely different things. So one can dream, you make your plans. If you're not in any positions, wait until you see this bottom part right here. I think we are sitting at previous day value area low right now though. So let me jump into EXO right now. Yeah, we are sitting on previous day value area low right now. So this could be possibly a good area to look for longs shortly if we can build some volume here. But I saw this earlier and I was like, is this a glitch? And I don't think it's a glitch. I think longs stacked in pretty heavily, but at the same time shorts dropped off. So the concept of this is there wasn't enough longs to come into the market. There was just enough longs to cover the shorts that were closing, but not enough longs to actually move the price up. So that is a tad bit concerning, but we had price moving up with open interest, so that's not terrible. That shows some strength in the market. I did put that in the clip that I posted, the preview clip of my last video, where we had that price rising up and open interest just falling off the, onto the gutter floor, and that was another bearish signal for us to possibly go lower, and we did. We went lower. We tagged previous day value area low on that report. That kind of helped us move further low. Now, one thing I did see is we did swing fail pattern this low area as well. So it wouldn't had been a bad deal to take a trade off this. Let me go ahead and delete these other ones. But you know, you could have waited till candle closures in this area and then take a position and just ride it up just a tad bit, or if you're more aggressive, try to ride it up until this top range right here area, you know, the resistance level on this. So say you got in here, you had some candle closures right here, and you got in and you rode it up to there. With how price has been, not the best return, not even a % return, but with how slow and choppy, it would have been a very low risk reward trade. Volatility was kind of low on that. So overall, just kind of bland, boring PA. And this is, like I said, being a trader and getting involved and trying to trade stuff like this is never good. It never ends well. And you need to plan positions of where you want, you know, areas of interest that you like as a trader and what helps you set your rules and like what you think does well. And that sets you to be a better trader. You don't get stuck in this. You don't get stuck in all this chop getting, you know, stopped out, and you think it's going to go this way, goes back down, goes this way, goes back down. There's no real trend with this. It just kind of chop, and it's never great to look, you know, to just get into the middle of this and try to take a trade. So set up, you know, the areas, your range of this area, and if you're looking to take trades, wait, just be patient. Wait for these lows, wait for these highs. You had a double top right here. You could have taken position off that right there if you wanted, and it would have been a safer position. Normally I like to see the swing, you know how I am, I like to see the swing fail pattern on this, come back in the range, and then just absolute nuke. But this is also a great trade in its own, and the Serenity indicator has these order blocks on here, and they are pretty good. They're pretty consistent to the T on them. If we replay this to about here, you'll see that the order block actually appears, and we hadn't even tested it yet. So yeah, we didn't even test this. Let's go ahead and play the bar. Let's play the bar. Yep. So you see, we went right into it, came back down, and we are where we are now. So not bad, you know. But it kind of gives me conviction, because I really do want to see us tag this area down here. We tagged the top area of this. Now I think we need to tag this area. It's also 2-hour order block too, so that it has a little bit of strength to it, more so than the lower time frame 30-minute, 45-minute one you see up there. So that would be kind of nice to see. Just like I said, I want like a bit of a liquidity grab, and I think this would be a great area of interest for us. But I don't see too much bearish side of anything. I mean, S&P is looking beautiful, and Bitcoin tends to follow traditional markets. So in the time being right now, I do lean a bit bullish. Again, I can't say this enough. We have major reports coming out this week, major reports. So please be diligent. Please wait for the data. If you're not in any trades, please wait for the data. You know, assess the data once it comes out, and then make educated, you know, risk management trades that can potentially make you profits and make you money. Again, this is a this could possibly be a very volatile week if these reports come out and they're not good. Now, if they come out and they're great, it could be a volatile week going to the upside. So, but you know, putting so much trust into these reports, or so much emphasis in these reports, is not enough. I can't put enough weight on that, like how important it is for you to know that these reports are coming out, and to make sure that you're safe and you're not in any major trades before they happen, unless you're an experienced trader and you can make those educated decisions right on the fly as the report comes out if things don't go your way. It's all psychology when it comes to that. If you're in position, you know, and you have to pull it, you have to pull it. You just you have to, you can't think about it twice. You got to do it. There will always be times where you're like, well, I don't think Bitcoin's going to do that. And it does. It will amaze you. And if you're new to trading it, it hasn't been quite as volatile as it has been in previous years at times. But there are some good moves, and I think there always will be moves. Now, back in the day, we didn't get $1,000 to $2,000 price swings within a trading day. It's gotten a lot better over the years, but it's always good to know what's going on around you as you're making these trades and these decisions. So, I can't say it enough. These reports are important. I will come out in my video on Thursday, and the first thing I will say is I told you so. These reports were something, you can't just shake them off. You have to know that they're coming out. They have to be something that's in your rule set, how you trade, things to look for. It has to be there. Charts are one thing, and charts are great. And, that's number one, the bottom line. But if everybody and their grandma's waiting for these reports to come out and things are just chopping around and there's not much going on, you just don't want to lose sight of these reports showing and them really giving direction and potentially making you could make some good trades off of just the reports themselves with proper risk management, of course. And get another drink of water. Hold on a second. But yes, I can talk about it for hours. The psychology of it and how important these reports are. And hopefully by the time you've done listening to this video, you understand that the reports that are coming out this week are very important and not to take lightly. So, and I will show you those again real quick. So the core PPI report, the core is more important than the PPI month over month. The core PPI is weighted just a tad bit different than the PPI month over month. So it's always great to make sure that you know what this is and how it reacts to the markets. Now, Powell is speaking, but he's doing a 10 a.m. speak, so I don't think it's the exact same one as he normally does. Normally he gets up on the podium and talks. I feel like that will be later next week that he's going to do that. We can take a look and see. So we have retail sales. This is kind of an important one as well. This is important. All these are pretty important ones. CPI, of course. Core retail sales, that's going to be pretty important as well. That's going to tell you how sales is doing on an economic level within all these retail stores. So that is a pretty important one. We had that, was it the manufacturing? Let's see. Consumer sentiment is what it was, and that was really bad, and that's why we had that drop like we did. It was bad the previous month too, but it was even worse this time around. So with the consumer sentiment like this, it kind of doesn't bode well. You want the consumer sentiment to be high when you're trying to cut rates, and this is kind of the opposite of what it's doing. It's not good. But let's see these other reports. Unemployment rate was pretty flat. Oh, that's Canadian. We don't care too much for that. Sorry, Canadians. Let me filter this just the state. Sorry, guys. You matter too, but not when it comes to trading off the news, right? So we got the unemployment. So our unemployment claims will be then. So that's going to be another one too. Man, we have a lot of good stuff this week. Yeah, this is going to be an important one. That's the 22nd. I think that's about it right now. They haven't really filled in too much of anything else. GDP, that would be an important one. So there's quite a bit of good stuff this week that we're gonna hopefully get some direction with. But I don't expect the reports to be great, and if the reports aren't great, then I expect us to go further down. Which is, unfortunate for us having longs, but I'm still in my position for the short, so worst case, let's take a look at this real quick. If it works. This kind of just shows you areas where there's massive amounts of positions set up. Quite a bit at 60,000, below 60,000, and we have quite a bit at 62. Also, speaking of liquidations, we do have that new weekly P sitting right here at 62,368. Now, remember in my last video, the video before my last video, I spoke about always when we have a new weekly P, there's always a good chance that Bitcoin tests it in some way and somehow. And if you remember when I put out that first video, we were up in this area right here. Granted, it wasn't the biggest move, but it came back down. I think it was right here. No, it was right here. This was the old weekly P, was right here. And then we went down a little further and then came back up. But again, there's always a good chance that the weekly P's tested. I want to say it's like 80% chance. The only reason I think it's 80% chance is because I've never not seen it hit. Out of like 6-7 weeks, it hasn't not hit. So last week's hit, we could say one for one right now, 100%, right? So we have a new weekly P this week. We have all week for this to be hit at some point. So we'll gauge it, video by video. If we hit it, we'll put it down as hit. We'll just do a tally. We'll just start up a tally of it, and see where it goes from there. But yeah, I don't really have too much more to give. There really isn't much. It's hard to say. I would like us to test that bottom order blocks again here, the 2-hour order block down here, just to see what type of reaction we get from it. But it's just kind of choppy. It's just very choppy. I don't expect much movement tomorrow. I feel like it's going to be another choppy day. And again, chop is what makes you not a good trader. So you need to make plans. You need to find areas that you like, that look like a solid area to take positions and trade those. Don't get caught up in this chop. I've been there, done that before in my life, and it was not fun. I don't recommend it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I did want to look at, there's one of my top 10 alts. I'm going to do a video of all these alts again, of ones I spoke about and how they've done. Some done a bit better than others not so much. RNDR's done pretty well. I did speak about this. This kind of just took off, to be honest, to some extent. I mean, as much as it can with how things have been, but it's done pretty nice recovering from the last time I spoke about it, which I want to say was around, was it February or so? I'll have to go back and look, but I think it was around this area. So we're probably break even at this right now still, but this had a nice recovery. And again, we haven't really had that alt run that we were expecting to have yet, and hopefully we do have it, but things are a little tough right now. So let me grab more water in just a second. All right, so I'm still getting over this. I thought it was an allergy infection, but it seems like it's actually a cold. So still trying to get over this, but I'm almost done. It's getting there. It's almost gone. I feel fine. I didn't feel bad at any point, so I don't know. It's just a really weird cold, I guess. But yeah, I did want to look at Tesla again. Let's see how Tesla's doing for us. Oh, coming right back down. Yeah, here we go. Back down to the bottom. So again, let's see how we test this area down here. I joke about this one, but it never seems to amaze me. It goes up all the way up and then it just starts going right back down. So not really doing much of anything. It really isn't what it used to be. I remember we used to have some great runs with this thing back in the day. It's just crazy how there's different cycles, different strokes for different folks, right? But just crazy how it just doesn't move like it used to. But with all the splits and everything, didn't help either, I'm sure. But yeah, I think I will leave you guys here, and I'll see you in the next video. So I hope you had a wonderful day. Oh, you know, just so everybody knows, the group, trade group, I am doing 45% off still. Crypto Stud is the promo code. This isn't going to last forever. So right now, while we restart it back up, if you're looking to join and get all, you know, everything right off the bat, the lifetime memberships also 45% off. Right now, this is gonna change. It's not always gonna be like this. I just wanted to give this opportunity for people who are new to my channel or new to the group. You know, my group is newer. We were open at one point, we closed, we went private. My YouTube channel is new. So for me, this is kind of an incentive where, you know, just to gain some traction and some new subscribers and also some new people in the trade group that can discuss trades with us and help us, you know, collectively as a group do better. And also, if, you know, my videos have helped you learn and you're interested in learning more and doing this on your own and not really need these YouTube videos, although I do like you watching and I do like the you know, the comments and subscribes and everything. I want you to be successful in your own way, and the only way I can do that is by giving you this course. But I don't give the course for free because there needs to be an incentive for you to do the work. You know, if you pay for something and you're using your hard-earned money to buy it, then there should be enough incentive there that's like, hey, I don't want to waste my money, let me use it. So I never really believed in free courses myself. Every course I ever took or did, I always bought, and it made me accountable for myself and who I was and how I did it. Now, I've taken multiple different courses over the years. I've read millions of different trading books, and then kind of just stuck with my own philosophy and my own way to trade, and it's been good. I've enjoyed it. It's been very carefree, very low stress. I've had years where I've been very stressed. The trading that I was doing was very stressful. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to trading. You need to find the niche and the way that it's not stressful for you. You know, it makes you who you are. If you like the stress, then yeah, you can trade stress with stress, I guess, if you would like. But I always found that not being stressed out looking for positions and not, you know, having this need to be in a position, need to always trade mentality has helped me grow better as a trader and also use larger size and stay into trades and make more money at the same time. So, but yeah, if you're interested in joining the group, you could also reach out to me on Discord. I'll put it in the description. And then also, if you want, you can email me, admin@marketexpertstrading.com. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer it. So yeah, this is where I let you guys go, and I'll see you later. Peace.
down my pants, and I'll bet you'll feel nuts. Yes, I'm Cisco, yes, I'm Ebert, and you're getting 2 thumbs up. You've had enough of 2-hand touch, you want it rough, you're out of bounds. I want you smothered, want you covered like my waffle house. Hash browns, got my quicker than FedEx, never reaching apex, just like Google calls. You are inclined to make me rise an hour early, just like daylight savings time. Do it now. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it again now. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it now. So if I capsize and defies high tide B5, you sunk my battleship. Please turn me on. I'm Mr. Coffee with an automatic grip. So show me yours, I'll show you mine. 2 time you'll love it just like wow. And then we'll do it doggy style so we can both watch X-Files. Do it now. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it again now. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.